Introduction. Monarchy is a political system based on the single person full sovereignty or control. The phrase refers to the state in which the monarchy or supreme authority is vested in a single ruler who serves as the head of the state and is born into the position. In most monarchies, only male can access to the throne. Usually from father to son, monarchy is the system headed by the monarch or king. Monarchy thus encompasses not only on the political administration structure but also court society, a term coined by Norbert Elias, a German-born sociologist in the 20th century, to describe various nobility group linked to the monarchical dynasty or royal house. Through a personal web of the personal chart, the monarchs also had to prove themselves as a state builder. Constitutional monarchy and absolute monarchy are two short of the monarchy. Constitutional monarchy places limit on the power of monarchs, where absolute monarchy offers the monarch unrestricted power. There are 45 countries have short of the monarchy. King continue to exercise enormous political power in some countries such as Morocco, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and also Muslim monarchs such as Bahrain, Kingdom Brunei National of Peace, and Malaysia Federation. Brunei, the Abode of Peace, the Sultanate of Oman, the State of Qatar, de facto, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia all have absolute monarchs. The Kingdom of Bahrain and the State of Kuwait are classified as mixed, which means that there are representative bodies in place, but the monarch retains most of his power. And the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, Malaysia, and the Kingdom of Morocco are constitutional monarchy. Their monarchs retain greater power than their European counterpart.
Absolute monarchy. Absolute monarchy, also known as absolutism as doctrine. It is a system where one person has ultimate authority over the whole country. It is basically the monarch or the king of the country. When it comes to monarchies like this, the king is generally bound by a constitution. However, in some countries, the king has the full authority. A traditional hereditary system is being used to choose the monarch for these monarchies. The throne is often handed down from one generation to the next generation. Basically, it means that the members of the ruling family will be the ones who ascend to the throne, and people who live in society ruled by absolute monarchy are deprived most of their individual freedoms and natural rights. For example, the society cannot practice religion that is not approved by the monarch. There are some consequences for any complaints or protests against the monarch. These acts are categorized as treason, and they can be punished with torture or death. Brunei is one of the countries that practice absolute monarchy. The Sultan is the country's leader and the head of the government. The Sultan oversees both the executive and legislative branches of the government. The Sultan inherits the position following the hereditary system. Brunei has followed the Malay Islamic monarchy's national concept since achieving independence from the British in 1984. The Malay Islamic monarchy is heavily influenced by Malay culture. It stated out the Sultan's responsibility, Brunei's religion, and importance of Islam in life and administration.
There are several of characteristics of absolute monarchy. Firstly, the king has absolute power in controlling politics. This is because all decisions or actions of the king are not subject to law, division of power, or any other form of control. The king can modify the law and can exempt himself from the responsibility to obey it because all the laws made by the king rest on him. The setting of the law for absolute monarchy was the responsibility of the king. However, sometimes a group of councillors without the participation of the people give advice on the ruling man. The king has the power to control politics. The king has the right to judge those who commit crimes, and even the king can set new taxes. For example, in Brunei, it is stipulated that the Sultan cannot be prosecuted in any court on various charges, as this matter has been enshrined in Article 824b(1) of Brunei Constitution. Therefore, the Sultan of Brunei is free from all legal action, including Sharia law. The Sultan cannot be challenged in court if all his acts, decision, cancellation, uh, and refusal from exercising any power. Therefore, the Sultan also does not have to give any reason if he does such a thing, because he has a very wide discretionary power. In addition, the king has the right to control his army. The military of absolute monarchy is responsible for maintaining the order established by the king and the stability of the monarchy system. In the rule of an absolute monarchy, the king has the exclusive service of a specialized military body, because the king has the right to control his army. Although the military body serve for the king, but they were but they were dedicated specifically to control the people and the borders. For example, in Brunei, there are security forces that are responsible for defending the sovereignty of the king, religion, race, and country to achieve national prosperity and peace. The Brunei military is entrusted with guarding the country defenses and security. Brunei has troops in the army, navy, and air force who play their respective roles in being responsible in national security, such as guarding the border and monitoring the integrity of the border aggression. From aggression.
The first advantage for the absolute monarchy is it allows for making quicker decisions. Because the king oversees his land and people. When it comes to deciding decisions, they do not listen to their advisors. The rulers may have others who can assist them, but in the end, they have the final decision. Besides, there are some people who support this type of government because it can decrease disagreements about what is right and what is wrong. Thus, with so many people that involved in decision-making process, it can delay the progress because there will sure to be disagreements over the terms.
However, the advantage gained by this country is it has simplified all legal matters. It is directly able to solve problems more quickly and allows speedy action because the pattern or shape of the kingdom is totally dependent on the king's decisions. It is more easier and saves time because there is no need discussion and consent from all parties. The conflict can be avoided because everyone has a different opinion, so the chance to get a consensus is very impossible. It also saves money because the payment of salary of those who hold positions in legal matters is very expensive. Plus, it slows down the decision-making process. This is because many cases and problems will be disrupted when many parties intervene in these legal affairs. As we know, all the form has an advantage, must have side effect, or known as a disadvantage, which is absolute monarchy does not include a direct democratic process in the country's administrations. There are several decisions between two forms of government, which is they don't have the right of the people to express themselves, known as the power of the people, such as democracy government. This is because the king's decision is final and must comply with the objection from any party. There is no debate about king's decisions, and any misconduct or disobedience of the people will be punished. In the democracy government, people have the power to elect and vote for their own leaders. Also, they concerning the country's government, plus any cruelty or oppressions that may arise, and people lack the freedom of speech because the king's authority is uncontrollable in absolute monarchy country. There will be effect for some citizens will classify it as an injustice when their rights have been restricted because all decisions are controlled by the supreme ruler.
Next, the disadvantages of absolute monarchy is it does not allow the people to choose their leader. It is because the monarch gets their position by inheritance. This might be problematic because no one knows whether the king who succeeds will be capable of running a country. The successful nation can become crippled if the leader is bad in leadership. It is because in absolute monarchy, anything the ruler declares will become the law of the land. In that case, people who living in absolute monarchy have no influence in who becomes their country's leader. Thereby, because there is no guarantee of how successfully a future leader will govern, this type of system rises the oath of a rebellion. Also, within the structure of an absolute monarchy, there is no electoral process. It is because the king retains final authority on all matters, even if the right to vote is granted, and they can disregard the result of the election.
In conclusion, monarchy have two types which is constitutional monarchy and absolute monarchy. Constitutional monarchy places limit on the monarch's power, meanwhile absolute monarchy provides unrestricted power of monarchs. Absolute monarchy is very important in the administration of the country. This is because it has a good resources background. It's on having their own pros and cons. But this can be overcome. A country that still implements the administration of this absolutely monarchy is increasingly advanced and easily controlled directly, such as Brunei Darussalam. As well as the process of selecting the next leader or king according to the turn of the lineage. Also, not many countries use the system of the absolute monarchy, but this power is good for royal lineage, inheriting the royal line from generation to generation. This is to maintain the inheriting of the throne for country and the people. That's all from us. Thank you.